Okay, hello everyone and welcome to the Gaming Zone. Today we're going to be discussing the PlayStation 4 announcements that came. As always, I'm your host, Chriz, aka The Mole. Joining me is fellow gamer, stay-at-home dad.
Hello.
And GeekyGirl.
Hey there.
And from Showtime, Marcus Shadow.
What's up?
From Rise from the Airwaves, James Phoenix.
Yo.
And from To Be Announced, AEon Rider.
Hello, bitches!
I wasn't sure if he had a show name yet.
He doesn't.
Good, so To Be Announced does work. I was trying to think of it the whole time, I just couldn't think of it. But anyhow, so yeah, we're going to be discussing the PlayStation 4 thing. First thing I want to get out the way, only a couple of us, me and GeekyGirl, actually watched the event.
No, I watched it.
Oh, and Ricktor. I don't know if Ricktor agrees with us. The event itself, let's just get out the way. It was boring. It was boring. It was dull. So boring. It was dull.
It was snoring.
Yeah, it was dull. It was boring, and it was presented by the most. It was presented by someone just who looked like a sex offender through some of it. The guy who introduced the pad in like the striped Freddy Krueger style top, hunched over with like the badly combed over hair, like, oh yes, hello kiddies, I have move.
Want to grab my controller?
But I don't know if both of you agree with that.
Silver stake for that, Mole.
What was that?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to run you through with a silver stake for that.
He's not a fucking werewolf.
But yes.
Well,
It could be a fucking vampire for all I know.
So
No,
you
vampires
think I'm
don't
a
win
hybrid?
stakes. Silver doesn't affect vampires.
So in other words, he thinks I'm a hybrid. He thinks I'm Klaus. Some people will get that joke, but anyway, did you agree with that, Ricktor and Stacy?
yeah, it was 85% bullshit.
Yeah, it could have been better. I mean, there was some good stuff, but it was a lot of fluff, definitely.
The worst speakers in the entire world.
Yeah, I figured let's just get that out of the way first, so then the whole thing can be everyone talking. So I'm gonna go with AEon Rider. Is there anything you wanted to bring up from it was announced?
You mean apart from the fact that they're moving to basically making the PS4 a gussied up home theater PC when they're going to x86-64 or 64-bit x86 hardware, which just proves me saying that game consoles are just cut down computers
With better control.
I mean, come on. Seriously, they're just cut down PCs for gaming.
Yes.
Yeah,
That was not the one I thought you were going to go with. So, Marcus Shadow, is there anything you wanted to announce?
No, not really. I didn't see much, but well, I guess I'll mention Bungie. Yeah, what was the point of their presentation? They bring up 4 guys and 1 guy talks. Why were the other 3 people there? Were they like trophy wives or something?
Okay.
Oh!
I just have to point out...
If you really want to ask what the point was, showing us a Final Fantasy, they're saying, yes, we're making a Final Fantasy game, we're not going to show you that, ha ha, but we will show you a trailer you already saw before.
Yeah.
Ha
I was going to say, ironically, the reason I asked both of those two, I thought they would have announced Diablo 3.
Which was big. It's going to be for the PS3 and PS4.
Yes, I thought you would have brought that up first.
Yeah.
In case anybody here is unaware, Aeon and Marcus Shadow play a lot of Diablo 3 on PC.
I'll put it this way. I've been playing Diablo since Diablo 1 back in 1996.
Me too.
There you go.
And I have
I was
not
playing-
been playing
I
Diablo
played
since
way
Diablo
before
1 in
that.
1996.
That count?
I was playing Doom and Quake on DOS before that.
And cool. And
So, this does lead to a very relevant question, though, is when Diablo 3 comes out for the PS4, and everybody gets home to go play it, how long will it take before they can actually play it?
Oh! Error 37! Error 37! Error 37!
Yep.
not even thinking of that part, but if they follow the PS3's example where you put it in, you're like, oh yeah, and then it's got to install and then update, and you're like, fuck, and then you get error 37. It's like problems combining to make a super problem.
Oh man.
I will admit.
How do you think it was for the people who bought Diablo 3 as a digital download, or the ones who got it through the 1 year subscription to WoW before Mr. Pandemic came out?
And like I said, I will admit I planned to get that game because it looks awesome. I wanted it for PC, but I was like, I couldn't really be bothered buying it for PC. I don't like gaming on PCs much. But I was like, I'll buy it for PS4 when I get that. However, I'm just going to point out, in my opinion, PlayStation made the stupid, or Sony made the most stupidest decision they could make with that.
What's that?
Sony guy, pedophile. Sony guy number 2, completely bland and generic. Random guy from Capcom who looked boring and generic. Then Blizzard comes out in a leather jacket looking like fucking Tony Stark or some shit. It's like, you've just officially made Blizzard look like the coolest thing at your presentation. Great move, Dick.
Yeah! Where the funds, bitch?
But I'll turn it over to someone else. Stacey, anything you wanted to bring up?
Oh, well, I'm just like you were asking how long to download. That's supposed to be a thing. Once you get your games, you can instantly instantly demo them by streaming, or you should be able to play them while they're downloading in the background. But if they're doing that, I don't think that's gonna work with like smaller like independent games and stuff, unless they purposely develop it in like a certain way for that to work. Because it sounds like only like major like gaming companies and stuff would be able to do that. Like, I don't see independents like being able to do that.
I don't know. I think it may be they may do it through the store itself. The store software may let you emulate the games. The ones I think will be a problem, which is a shame, would be any MMO. I mean, have you played? Everyone here has played the crap that is DCU and seen how laggy and stuff that is. Can you imagine how laggy that would be while streaming the game as well?
Why not?
2 hours later, the Flash has stepped forward an inch.
Why not?
Wow, look at
it while it's finishing downloading. So I could see it working, but I just think DCUO wouldn't work with like anything.
Yeah.
I just think streaming a game is a bad idea overall.
Yeah,
it's like, and especially with the size of the games these days, it's like, yes, we're gonna let you stream a 20 gig game over your crappy, shitty internet. No, I don't think that's gonna work.
Ask OnLive how it worked out.
Hey, if you buy me fiber optic, I might do it, but no, forget it. Screw you, Sony.
It could work in theory. There's been some that have done it, but I'll admit, streaming the game, the only thing I think advantages could come from that is apparently Sony have said all games will be able to be tried out via streaming. Therefore, a game like the Aliens Colonel Marines, coming soon and on a review by me and Marcus when it comes to Wii U, with all the bugs and crap that's in that game, there's no excuse for it anymore, or no excuse for those games to make money, because people can actually test them first, which means developers, if you want your games to sell, make good fucking games.
Not to
mention, why do we have to pay money to actually play them? Which I guess I can agree with that, because I totally play like a trial version of some games that I wanted to try, because I didn't want to buy them because I didn't know if they were any good. So yeah, that is a positive. I'll agree with Mole on that.
Another thing that developers are going to have to watch their fucking asses and make the perfect games now, because the first second I see a fucking glitch, I'm sharing that shit. I'm sharing all the fucking glitches and everything. Exactly. And it's going to be up there in 2 seconds. So, god damn it. That's the only thing I would use the share button for.
I will stream glitches to our friends. We can stream exploits to our friends. So game developers need to actually watch that crap now.
And I will say...
IDDQD, IDKFA.
And I will say now... Now that it's got a streaming video, now that you can stream to YouTube, Ustream in preparation, and I've got stuff to stream Wii U and stuff like that, check out ustream.tv/channel/gaming/zone/streams, which will be available at the bottom. Well, technically there are slashes, hyphens, but Either way, it's available. Check it out. I don't care.
It's a dash or
And
a
since,
hyphen.
yeah, dash or but whatever. James Phoenix, you've been extremely quiet. What are your opinions?
Yeah, I didn't get to see any of the presentation. Unfortunately, I was at work when it was happening. But I do have to say, it sounds like a great next-gen system so far, in theory. It seems like they're going a similar route to the other systems where they announced that there's it'll have standard stuff, good CPU, 8 gigabyte unified memory. They didn't announce a hard drive size, so I'm wondering if they're going to go the Wii U route of having a very small hard drive that you can a version with a small hard drive and then one with a larger hard drive.
Or like the Super Slim in Australia, 12 gig with a flash memory drive, or a half tera as a physical hard drive.
Yeah, and upgradable with separate external hard drives if you want to do that. I do like the look of the control. I think the controller looks pretty cool. That was the main thing they premiered, was they showed how it has a Move connectivity, and as a result, all PS4s will come with a PlayStation Eye camera for that purpose.
Which has been redesigned.
Yes, which has been redesigned. It's a full-on bar now. It's got two camera things in it.
You mean it's a Kinect sensor?
Yeah, it looks suspiciously like a Kinect and a Wii sensor bar had a child.
Effectively, yes.
No. You see, unlike Kinect, this won't be racist and will actually be good for people like me in the UK who have smaller houses to America. Again, racist.
If it's like the Move, it's not good. Don't worry.
Speaking of the Move, I have to ask.
I have to
Move in the controller. Why doesn't that defeat the purpose of the Move? I mean, essentially, that's basically giving you a more sensitive, better streamlined 6-axis. It's like, no, I'd rather have the 6-axis and have the Move separate.
That reminds.
It is, but in
reminds
terms
me.
of it's because it makes the wireless connect abilities of the controller a lot easier to work with. Number one, and number two, it's just a matter of being able to do different things with the actual Move controller as opposed to the standard 6-axis controller. Like, for example, maybe you have a 6-axis controller in your hand, and maybe let's say you're playing a war game and you're driving a tank. You can move your controller around to aim the big gun on the tank and then press the X button to fire or something like that. Which is much cooler holding a controller in your hand like that, because that's the kind of controls you would actually have in a tank, as opposed to with a Move. Maybe if you're holding a Move with your hand, maybe for a sword fighting game, that would be a lot better. And I will attest that I have both the Wii and I bought the PlayStation Move about a month ago, and so far the Move has been a lot better than the Wii mode. I'm sorry,
Jim,
it just is.
See, I agree. I actually agree with that. I have Wiimote with the Wiimote with Motion Plus.
Yeah,
Move completely beats Motion Plus. However, Motion Plus is still cool, but Move completely bumps it. And it's like, okay, with the Move stuff that's built into the pad, they've also said they'll have other features too. Like, if you're being hurt in the middle of a game, that will actually display your health for some games. As well as that, it can read where you are in the room based on where it can read the pad. Therefore, that could have some sense, like a more sense of depth for certain games and stuff. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's also got some. It's also got that unique touchpad on the front that has certain interesting game capabilities as well.
They showed that PlayStation.
BRB, folks.
They showed the PlayStation Move creating the clay thing, the creative initiative they had with the PlayStation Move. That looked really cool, but I fear that because it's 3D and the instant sharing and stuff, is people are going to get spammed with 3D penises all over the place. Like, that's what's going to happen. You're going to have 3D penises jumping out of your screen. What if you have a 3D TV? You might get attacked by this kind of stuff, like how they made it dance and everything. What if they were just doing that, but they make their junk dance and it shoots out at the screen, and I just feel like that's gonna get horribly abused because no one's gonna really put in the time and effort to make anything really creative at this, and it's gonna be used for ultimate trolling.
See, if they monitor it correctly, which they won't, if they monitored it correctly, like how Nintendo does with Miiverse, that could be cool. There's some really artistic stuff on Miiverse. Impresses the hell out of me.
But it's PlayStation, not Nintendo, so I don't think they're gonna be as tight and family friendly strict. So that's why I think everyone's gonna have once in a while penis spam, and you have a 3D TV, so it's gonna attack your face.
True. In addition. Yeah, well, number one, that's already happened in an online MMO, so yeah, people do that. Number two,
And number two is, that wasn't an online MMO, that was Second Life, which is used more as a social tool like Messenger.
Okay. Anyway, in addition to cool features of the controller, also it has a share button, so you can just share stuff just boom with the one button right there. And then it's also got a headphone jack, so you no longer have to connect headsets to your actual system. You can just connect your headset to the controller, which makes that a lot more portable.
You mean it's a 360 controller?
Yeah, and I also like the fact that it has the colored light bar on there. For those of you that have a Move, you know that the little round thing on top lights up different colors depending on what you're playing. The new PS4 controller also has a capability has a light on it that will light up in different colors, but this time for the purpose of controller identification. So if you've got like 4 people playing, rather than having to look, okay, how many little red lights are lit on yours, you'll be able to tell them apart by, oh, yours is red, mine's blue, yours is green. Make it a lot easier to tell the controllers apart.
I would just like to say my favorite part of the new controller is something that once again makes it an Xbox 360 controller. The fact that the controller will now charge when your system is off. Yeah, way to be 5 years behind the time, Sony.
Sony's control pad does charge when the system's off. You have to plug it into something with a USB device. It doesn't have to be the system.
Not through the PlayStation. It doesn't.
Well, that's true. Yeah, true. Through the PlayStation itself, it doesn't.
Yeah, and that's what they're adding.
But a charging dock or plug into your computer, boom, they'll charge whilst the system's off.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't want to buy a fucking dock.
And as I hadn't asked him yet, how about you, Ricktor?
Well, it's already been touched upon, but I thought the best part was the always-on video recorder. And, at first I was kind of leery about the share button. Like, I don't really care to, tweet every screenshot. But the fact that it's always recording means that, because if you play games enough, there's always that one really cool thing that happened. And you're like, oh, I wish I was recording. And even though I have a capture unit and I'm going to hopefully get another one soon, I just think having one built in is awesome for those times that you either don't have it hooked up or, so if you only play PS4, you don't even need a capture unit. But I think that is going to be really cool and really fun. And as you said before, yeah, you get a glitch, boom, you hit the share button, and man, instant YouTube channel, just glitches of any game you're playing.
Yeah, or like,
so basically Sony decided, hey, let's give them system-wide WWE highlight reel.
Yeah.
I was gonna say for those times when you're James Phoenix and you inadvertently kill Rey Mysterio by a ringlet.
Exactly, I was gonna bring it up. Thank you.
And since it's kind of been mentioned, where people have been mentioning 360, I have to mention this with a little slight smile, even though I shouldn't be smiling. The PlayStation 3 will be playing used games.
Me for.
They announced that after the conference, and someone from Sony, I think it was someone from Sony, mentioned the reason it was leaked out that Sony was heavily investing in blocking used games is because Microsoft was considering it, so Sony allowed them to think PlayStation were too, so they think it's a good idea. That amuses me because
if it's true,
just trolled Microsoft.
Because if that's true, not only will my Xbox not play used games, hopefully they do though, because that is a large portion of people who like used games. But if they don't, not only will PlayStation allow used games for rentals and borrowing games and stuff, which does help people choose the game themselves, you can stream the games themselves to borrow and rent the games too. So it's like the PlayStation 4 seems more suited towards lending and being social and stuff. However, as you mentioned with the social stuff, I don't like the fact it's encouraging you to use your real name. It's encouraging you to use your Facebook. I don't have a Facebook. It's encouraging all this. While it's not directly saying you must have this, I don't give a crap what people's random real life names are. I don't care. I'm just playing the games. I don't care who they are. And anyone that says, well, what about your real life friends? Guess what? I know their real life names.
Yeah.
Don't forget to put your address and where you live and,
Yeah.
all
I was about
else.
to say, anybody remember Blizzard's Real ID system?
Nope.
The one that didn't take.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, you can still...
Yeah. Blizzard quickly learned, Real ID, don't try and force on people, or your consumer base will say, fuck you, we're out of here.
Yeah, luckily, Sony have made it optional. However, they're heavily pushing it to a point where I'm like, I don't want that stuff. It's like everyone in this conversation right now, we're all currently using some variation of an alias. And it's a case of, I know all of these people's real life names, especially my own. But yeah, I don't give a crap whether or not it's going to show their ID, and I'll be able to click it and see what their Facebook things are, so I can go, oh look, there's James Phoenix's Facebook. Oh look, there he is in his SpongeBob t-shirt posing outside the Statue of New York. Or Statue of Liberty.
New York. Yeah.
The Statue of Liberty, it's in New York.
You're so not American.
I was just making a joke about James Phoenix in a SpongeBob t-shirt posing outside the Statue of Liberty. Anywho, I don't like the fact they're forcing social stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, are they actually going to force it, or are they going to keep it optional? Because they shouldn't.
Well, no, I mean force in the sense that it's optional. However, they're heavily pushing it to the point where, like when you're playing WWE 13, you get people like, oh, add me, please add me, and then you add them, and then it's a case of, now you've added them, it'll be, oh, now join me on Facebook. Come on, join me on Facebook. I want you to see my farm.
Follow me on Twitter.
Funky Farm coming soon to GamingZone.
Fuck you, Zynga. Is all I'll say. PopCap is better.
But let's move on to. Yep. But let's move on to any games that were announced that pleased anyone else in the terms of the games before we close this out.
Nothing. They looked like PlayStation 3 ones. Nothing was impressive.
Destiny, I'm kind of looking forward to. Watch Dogs, I'm totally looking forward to. I've been looking forward to that since E3 of last year.
See, Watch Dogs was on my list. That looks awesome. Did you want to talk more about Watch Dogs, Marcus?
Well, like I said, it's been on our watch list, no pun intended, since E3 of last year. Just the fact that it's going to be an ever-evolving, pretty much online world. It's essentially an MMORPG without being an MMORPG, I think is kind of cool. You know, where you're...
MMO, I don't know about RPG.
Oh, yeah, okay, MMO. Well, it depends on, if there's going to be a level system.
Yeah.
But I just like the fact that it seemed like a really cool concept where what your friends do in their game affects your universe and vice versa. I think that's going to be kind of cool. And the fact that you can manipulate pretty much everything in your environment, it's like, what if they did Matrix Online and it not failed?
So basically, you'll be driving down the road on your world and be like, oh, okay, I'm driving down here. Wait, everything's in ruins? Wait, why is there a troll face spray painted on the... Oh, god damn you, Mo! But no, I liked Watch Dogs. The game I was looking forward to the most that they showed off, ironically, because I just hadn't seen that until they announced it, Knack. Knack is about this little guy. He gets to get elements around him, like ice, metal, and other stuff, like rock and all that, incorporate him onto him, and grows to be the size of Bowser. Kind of cool. I liked how that looked. It was cartoony. It was a little fun. And I believe they described it as being Crash Bandicoot. What was the other one? Crash Bandicoot, Katamari Damacy, or what the hell it's pronounced.
Katamari Damacy.
Yeah, and just a little dash of God of War. That makes me want it.
So he's the Avatar?
Yeah, it's from Naughty Dog, isn't it?
Yes.
It's from Naughty Dog because they're the same people that made Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. Two awesome IPs, one of which Jak and Daxter, as most people know, is my favorite game series. So I'm certainly willing to give it a shot. I haven't seen the trailer, but it sounds awesome from what I've read. I will show you the trailer after this recording. Excellent.
But I think we've exhausted this subject, but did anyone else have anything to add?
I know they didn't really show any of the...
I really wanted, like, when they said Final Fantasy and that we're making one, I kind of wanted to see a trailer, but it's like, nope, we're making one, no trailer. Yep, it exists. Okay, moving on. And I'm like, I'm
going to be a dick and just say, if you want to see what the next Final Fantasy is, just pop in the most generic anime-looking thing you can see, and there you go.
I'm hopeful. I want it not to suck. I'm hopeful they can make one that doesn't suck.
And while you're watching the generic anime-looking people, play emo music. Play emo music and have that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're at the point where you're making games, or some of the highlight of where you're making RPG games and the highlight of your game is, oh, which set of clothes am I going to collect next to fight? Yeah, you don't know the meaning of the word game.
That's Devil May Cry. We're getting confused here.
No one makes.
No, I'm talking about Yuna.
Yeah, Geeky, if you want Final Fantasy not to suck, convince Square to get rid of Enix.
Ha!
Yeah, it does suck when you have to spend ages wondering like what outfit and stuff you were gonna wear. So how are you getting on with DCU?
Oh,
fuck you.
But yeah, Ricktor,
Touche, credit. I would also like to mention that since I know most of the people in this conversation have joined me at some point in playing the PS3 demo, supposedly there's rumors that they may wait and release Dust 514 on the PS4, which if they do, I think that would be awesome, either way, because it's a really awesome game that I'm getting into. So I'm interested to see the differences in the game on the PS4 as opposed to the PS3.
And if they put it on the PS4, I wonder how long before it'll be ported over to the computer, the regular PC.
No one knows.
Yeah, who the hell would play it there? Fuck that.
But the rumors about Dust 514 is that in the existing game demo that they've showed us, because it's an EVE game, they had the capability of it being cross-compatible with EVE, and people that have like spaceships and stuff could use like orbital strikes and things for their allies in Dust 514. And there was a question of, given that it's near impossible for the PlayStation technology to be directly intercompatible with the PC technology, people are wondering if perhaps the PS4 users will have the ability to have the spacecraft and things for orbital attacks, and they could use it to help their allies that are on the PS3 version that don't have the ability, rather than having it be a PC versus PlayStation thing.
And I have to ask...
Need I point out, Portal 2, PS3 and PC cross-compat. You can play on
I was just going to make the same point.
You can.
I'm just telling you what I read in the article. Maybe the guy was an idiot.
You can, but through Steam itself, kind of. But they're on about where you don't need to like load up Steam or anything like that. But I was also going to point out, just ask AEon. Porting a game from a console to a PC, isn't that like putting toast in your toaster and getting bread?
Ha!
Yeah.
Actually, console to PC ports have never worked. Ever. I point you to Halo. Yes, I've played both versions of it. Yes, the PC version is shit.
Most of the issues with porting from console to PC or PC to console, as with Doom 64 and StarCraft 64, is not just basically the user interface, but the hardware differences. Your PC is an x86 piece of hardware architecture. The PS3 uses what? I think it's cell architecture, or was it the PS2? Two totally different architecture, and that's the problem.
And I have to say, there's a version of Halo that's not a piece of shit.
I was going to say, thank you.
It's called Quake 3 Team Arena.
Oh.
I didn't think very much either.
I was like, I don't have a gaming computer, so mine would like be shit. Like, cause like I can't like run anything. I have like the basic generic family friends like graphics card, so I don't think I could even run any games on my computer.
Yeah, before we got derailed on all this stuff, I believe Ricktor had something to say.
That's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ricktor. Go ahead.
No, it's just about one of the games that they showed. For Capcom, they showed Deep Down, which looked like Dragon's Dogma, and it sounded like Dark Souls when they were talking about it. So I know not many people care, but that's one I'm gonna at least look at and hope it turns out well. We'll see. But that's one that interested me that they showed.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And that did look cool. Like another one that looked cool was that Drive Club. It's made by the ones that make MotorStorm, which I've played the MotorStorm games on PS3. They actually have good physics. They respond well. They're fun. My only problem with this is it's a realistic version, whereas those looked realistic, but shit blew up around you. Fucking like you'd have like a bike versus like a fucking Optimus Prime style truck trying to knock him off the road. It was awesome.
So it's Michael Bayatized?
No, because unlike Michael Bay's movies, this had depth.
Good camera.
Ouch.
Yeah. I don't know, but I don't know if you saw that game, Ricktor.
Yeah, the Drive one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was like talking about, I don't know, for me, he was talking about all this stuff. He's like, and it'll connect to all this stuff, and there's an app, and I just kind of tuned it out. I was like, I'm not really into cars, so I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's not Forza. What's the Gran Turismo? To me, it was like, oh, this is a Gran Turismo that's not Gran Turismo, and I was like, fuck it, I don't care.
See, I'll admit, and this may be bad, but the inner man in me when I was watching it, and I made the same comments on voice to the Crispy when we were watching it, the inner part of me was like, I wish this guy would shut up. But my God, that's a beautiful engine. I mean, look at it, and it's revving the engine. Like, oh my God, it just sounds so beautiful. It's a car. It's so beautiful.
You're a car guy, aren't you?
That's not a bad thing. I'm a man. We all like cars. We all like cars. But anyway, if no one else, if no one else has anything else to say, we shall wrap it up.
Can I just ow? Sorry, headset.
You just ow? Yes, you may ow as much as you like.
Shut up. I just did want to mention one other thing. Since nobody brought it up, can I just say,
no.
One stupid mistake. What the fuck's on it? Yeah. No, we don't have a Wii pad, but go spend $250 on a Vita. You can use that.
Oh yeah, I also love the hypocrisy with that. The hypocrisy of that was, the hypocrisy of that, which I think I showed James, or at least mentioned it to him. There was a picture online that someone took E3 with Wii U. Sony fans and Xbox fans being like, that's a gimmick. It's so shit. We don't want it. Ha 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 ha. PlayStation announced that with Vita, greatest feature ever. And it's like, yeah, it's a greatest feature ever when you spend $250 to use it. It makes it much better.
Yeah. Irony plus.
I don't think anyone hated it on the Wii U for the ability to play a game on the pad.
No, it's not just playing the game. They said the Vita's going to have the same function of it can serve as an extra screen, possibly, and you can like cross play with the T and get different angles, like split screen. You can do it twice and stuff. And people like, when they saw it, a lot of people like, it's such a gimmick to have an extra screen in the pad, or have an extra screen instead of the one on the TV. What's wrong with the TV? It's like, yeah, you fanboys didn't see the repercussions. Wait till Sony and Xbox copy this like they normally do, then it'll be the greatest feature ever.
They have.
Yeah.
Like the Wii with the Wiimote being copied with the Kinect and the Move.
More with the Move.
Still, motion control.
What Kinect copied was the PlayStation Eye, which was available on PS2.
Yeah.
The Eye toy.
Yeah, the Eye toy.
The old Eye toy.
Yep, used to have that with one of the Sega games. So you got to play as Sonic and wave your hands to make him do shit. It was awesome.
And technically, all the Eye toy was a dressed-up webcam.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it was a shitty dressed-up webcam. But anyway, I think we about exhausted this moment.
We have. So I shall take us out. I want to thank everyone here for joining me.
Yay!
You're welcome.
And the link to the Ustream channel and shit will be below and possibly in the video. I haven't decided yet. But I was your host, Chriz, aka The Mole. See ya.